Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Roxana from Eutopian Lettings Academy, and we are back with another property management video. In this video on this channel, we're going to discuss about pets. I know some of you are thinking whether you should or you should not accept pets, and I want you to keep in mind a few things before making a decision. So now let's look at some statistics. In the UK, statistics are the following. 41% of households report that they have a pet, and 23% of the pets are dogs. Another interesting thing is that only 4% of the UK landlords allow tenants to keep pets, which means that there is a gap in the market, and as a landlord you could screen your tenants, and if you allow pets you are going to have more offers from tenants, and you can be pickier about other aspects like their income while you do the affordability checks and so on. And later on in this video I will also teach you how to take the deposit, because currently you are not allowed to take a separate deposit for a pet. So it's very important for you to cover yourself in order to be able to deduct damages for the pet if you allow a tenant to have a pet in the property. And another interesting fact I wanted to show you was that, based on an article published by BBC, puppy prices soared during coronavirus lockdown. And I noticed myself as well, the price of a Cocker Spaniel was about £3,000 for a puppy. People are not meeting their friends anymore, they don't leave the house anymore, so I'm pretty sure that's why, according to this BBC News article, the prices of puppies soared during lockdown. Now let's look at the US market. In the US, I was able to find the percentage of renters that own a pet. There's 67% of US households that have a pet, and there are 37% of renters that own a pet, which means that if you do not allow a pet in your property, you are missing out on almost 40% of the market, which is not good. Now let's look at pet damages. In the US, according to rent.com, pet deposits are allowed, and they're usually charged in addition to the security deposit before you move in, to cover any damages that might be caused by the pet. And it turns out that at the end of the lease, sometimes the landlord refunds the deposit, and other times they keep it for cleaning fees. I'm not sure if that's legal or not, but apparently some landlords keep the deposit as a cleaning fee. Okay, and looking at the UK, how much deposit can you charge? So according to the Tenancy Act of 2019, this is what it says. A refundable tenancy deposit capped at no more than 5 weeks' rent when the annual rent is less than £50,000, or 6 weeks' rent where the total annual rent is £50,000 or above, which means that the maximum rent deposit allowed. And also you need to make sure that you specify there is a pet in the property in your tenancy agreement, and you should also have a clause where it states that the tenant will be covering the damages done by the pet from their own deposit. So you have to make sure you have this clause in the contract where it says that the damages caused by the pet are going to be covered by the deposit of the tenant, and hopefully that amount should be enough. Another good tip would be that you could consider getting furniture that you don't care much about. You could also consider letting out your property unfurnished. That is another way to minimize damages caused by pets, but the best thing for you to do is to allow pets in your property. Okay, so that is all for today. Before you go, I want to mention my 6 weeks property management course. It's called Hacking Property Management, and it's a guide to be a landlord on autopilot. This will teach you how to put systems in place to automate the property management process. Have a look. The link is in the description, and I'm sure you're going to find it very interesting. I will see you next time.